Hello traders, today I will show you what you need to do to start your trading experience. Of course, first of all, we need to organize our workspace. With the help of Trading Volume Terminal, you can use all the volume analysis tools which are necessary to trade as a professional trader. And today I will show you how you can simply add all these trading tools to your chart. And it looks like this: one window for 15 minutes charts of all main trading futures, and another window is for the daily chart. I trade and analyze 25 futures. It is really enough to find some ideas. The most liquid instruments where a lot of participants trade and where a lot of market makers, not one or two like in shares. That's why here we can see the same principles of imbalances. I look forward these instruments for many years, and I want to tell you that there are the same rules. The thing that unites all these instruments is expiration and liquidity. Market maker can't hold the position in these instruments for a long time. Like in shares, for example, where the position can be held unlimited time. Here everybody need to close till expiration. Hedge funds, commercial traders, small traders, market makers, no matter, they all need to close their positions before expiration, to roll over to another futures or to exit at all. The next thing why I like to trade futures is that I can control risks, because very rare thing is to see gaps on futures market. There is more probability of gap if you roll your position through weekend. But to reduce and to control your risks, you even cannot do this. You can simply close your position before the bell and then open it on the Monday morning. It is not a problem, but you never see such gaps like it can be in shares. Of course, sometimes like earthquakes or Brexit or terrorist action or the war can influence all the markets, but on futures markets there are a lot of market makers, and if the gaps will be, they be much smaller than on shares or less liquid instruments. So the second thing that unites all these futures is possibility to control risks in a proper way because of liquidity of these markets. So I trade all the currencies: euro, British pound, Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Mexican peso is not so liquid, but I like it. I not trade it very often, but sometimes I look for opportunities in this instrument. Swiss franc. Of course, I analyze a dollar index. It is the main influencer on all the market. So I put it on the first tab for analyzing. Then after currencies, of course, indices. S&P 500, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones. As you see, they have similar trading picture, but for example, if I don't see clear imbalances on S&P 500 and Dow Jones, these instruments are very heavy, and at the same time I can see algorithmic purchases in Nasdaq and some signs of market makers activity. So I trade only where I see these fast tick chains, and it is not important what is the name of the instrument. Then I trade gold, silver, platinum, precious metals. They often show the most beautiful pictures and imbalances. Then I trade, of course, crude oil and less often Brent oil, because it is another market. It is traded on European ICE, but The imbalances here are also very beautiful. I will show you when we will make settings on these instruments, HFT settings. Of course, crude oil, which is traded on CME, is more convenient and popular for trading than also energy, natural gas, copper, wheat, corn, soybeans, that is from grains, and from ICE exchange also cocoa, coffee, and sugar. 25 instruments. Of course, for the first time it is difficult to analyze all of them, but I really analyze only if I see imbalances. When I get alert about HFT volumes, I open this instrument, I open daily chart, and try to find out why these HFT volumes were occurred on the chart. So it is easier than it seems to you now. So first of all, I will show you how to set the main indicators quickly. For example, we load euro for 1 month period. It is enough. And then, first of all, we add volumes, daily volume profile. Put bar color, which is suitable for you. Activate. You can activate on all tabs. You can open all the instruments and then put indicators on all tabs. And you press OK. So you see daily volume profile on the chart. In such manner, we see when they start and when they end and where the main activity was during the day. It is important for visual perception of the chart mainly. Then I add to 15 minutes chart indicators, cumulative delta. We add delta quantitative, activate and press OK. So we have volume delta and quantitative delta. Volume of trades and quantity of trades. You will have one complete lesson where I discuss everything about cumulative delta, why it is important and how to use this instrument. Then we use indicators candle delta. Activate, also put quantitative delta and tick all tabs and OK. In such a way you will see algorithmic purchases in each candle, its quantitative delta, or it can be also activity of crowd, small traders. I also talk about this in my lesson about delta, why it is important and why it is useful. You will be able to get acquainted with this information. Also, I add indicators, volumes, total volume. Activate and press OK. So you see the simple volume and you can understand the valuability of that activity which you have, because more volume is observed by market maker, more probability for movement. It is not interesting to play with 100 contracts. So volume shows us the involvement of traders in the process. And the last one, indicators open interest. Futures open interest, and also tick all tabs and press OK. And open interest shows you more important information than volume, the involvement of new money in the movement. It's a pity that we don't receive this information in a real time like volumes, but we need to analyze this information when we get it. So increasement always better for us than decrease. So we organized our 15-minute chart. You can open all the instruments and add indicators on all tabs at the same time. Or, for example, you can duplicate this tab, choose duplicate, open it. For example, put here British pound. And we have the same chart with the same indicators on the British pound. It is quickly and simple. And now let's move on to the daily chart. What is most important? Let's put euro, and the most important indicator for us on the daily chart, COT reports. We choose aggregated report, commercial and non-commercial traders, line visualization, and also click all tabs and press OK. So we have information about total open interest and also the dynamic of positions of the main participants on this market, hedgers or commercial traders and non-commercial traders or investment funds and hedge funds. The next thing, which is the most important, we put here option strikes. We click open interest increase 3 days, volume, and also we click volume on chart. I'm interested in block trades on the daily chart because it is also supply and demand zones for big traders. Also we click in the money strikes because the trades which belong to out of the money strikes, they are not so influential. And we click set plus load. I use 2 years daily chart. It is totally enough as for a swing trader. As we see, we have too many volume on option markets. Let's adjust to 450 contracts. So this is normal picture to my mind, not a lot but not a little. You need to adjust according to your current time because these settings, for example, half a year ago were very strict and we need to put less contracts. The liquidity was lower, so please adjust to your current time. And now we have a lot of I think that now the liquidity will be lower, so 450 contracts, it's normal for today. If you are a beginner, it is not so important for you. Now I try to show how to arrange my workspace, and of course you can ignore these option trades, option block trades or option strikes. It is not so important for your decisions. But of course, when you develop, you will come to option strikes, option trades to see all the market picture, not a local part. With the help of option strikes, I can see the levels of the highest interest of traders. For example, 1.03, this level, it is very important for traders. This level is very important. And of course, the levels where a lot of open interest was added during the last 3 days, it is the freshest information. You see these levels have strong color feel than others, and here also we see additional open interest. So of course that levels are very important for traders and price can react. Also the levels where big block trades and in the money trades, in options, they are also very important for traders and create supply and demand zones. That's why I mentioned these levels on the chart. But you can simply press the button O on your keyboard, not to see these trades, to get clear chart without any trades in options. Pure chart is the best way to put technical supply and demand zones and to put commercial levels. So we will speak about them next lessons. And not to oversaturate with information, you can deactivate intraday volumes on the daily chart. Better to see the open interest on strikes and addings of open interest, which are more important. So in such a manner we can adjust all the instruments which have liquid options, because not all of them create liquidity on the option markets. We have options in euro, British pound, Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, S&P 500, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, copper, wheat, corn. Instruments where options are not liquid, we don't analyze them because it not influences the market, or they have low influence, and these low liquidity trades can more mislead us than help us to make proper decisions. Also, traders, very important to add volume profile, total volume profile on the daily chart. We choose standard volume profile, bar color, for example, orange. Let's choose OK, all tabs. These volumes, the maximum volume, the highest volume of their profile for these 2 years, it is also important supply and demand zone, because the biggest amount of trades were opened in that places. So we will map on the chart the most popular supply demand zones, technical and volume profile, and less popular commercial levels, and where big option trades happened and option strikes. Of course, don't put a lot of supply and demand zones on the chart. If you have many zones in the same place, choose one, the most important. We need a distance between zones where we will be able to work, not to litter our chart. So traders, I showed you how to arrange your workspace 15 minutes chart, daily chart, 2 windows, and to see the most important information from volume analysis. And the next lesson, I will explain you how to adjust HFT settings. I want to make a separate lesson which is dedicated only to HFT volumes, HFT settings. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on the other side in the next video. Goodbye.